I am here with Immortals Fenyx Rising. I've been playing this for a little bit and I noticed some differences between the options menu on the title screen and in the actual game itself, so I thought that I would quickly cover that and some other stuff as well. So with that, let's get started. When you're on the title screen, click Options. The very first one is Display, where you can calibrate the brightness and contrast. I personally usually leave these alone, but they're there if you want to tweak them. There's a graphics mode. You can choose between performance or quality. If you grew up during the Atari 2600 days like I did, you usually prefer performance, but that's just, again, that's just me. Color blindness, I think this is a cool feature. I work with a lot of people that are colorblind, so they would appreciate this. Next tab over is controls. You can customize anything that you want. Highlight the particular one and it will ask you to assign selected button. Of course, if you select one that already has another skill with it, you will have to change those accordingly. And then changing it back is pretty easy. And there's a lot of other stuff that you can play around with here as well. Next tab over is gameplay, aim assistance. You can change it to full assist, partial, or off completely. I personally leave this off, but I am OCD and like to do my own aiming. But that is just me. Next one, photo mode, which will happen when you mash the L3 and R3 buttons together at the same time. And then there'll be a small menu on the left-hand side in the corner, which is some minor things that you can change. Camera, the camera follow, you can turn that on or off. Next one over is the HUD. You can start with making either default, you can go with a light HUD, or disable it completely. If there's a particular thing that's bothering you in there, you can turn it off completely. Compass, heroes' health and stamina, abilities, everything. So next tab over is sound. If something is too loud, you can change it here. Menu narration, you can turn that on or off. Next tab over is language. And then down here at the bottom, subtitles. I usually have subtitles on because usually there's almost always one particular voice in a game where you're going like, what did he say? I can't understand a word he's saying. So subtitles help with that, or the music is so loud during a cutscene you can't really hear the characters talking. So that's why I like subtitles on. But again, personal preference. And there's some stuff down here you can change about that as well. So that, in a nutshell, is the options menu. So I'm going to start up a game and show you the differences with the options menu in-game. Ubisoft Connect, I want to briefly talk about that because I didn't really think too much about it at first, but then I kind of started poking around and there's some pretty cool stuff in there. You'll have to have an Ubisoft profile set up first. So as soon as you set that up, you'll see little blue dialog boxes pop up during play that will say core challenge completed. And you'll see some experience points and coins, how many you got. After a while, you can go into Ubisoft Connect and it'll say rewards. Click on rewards and it'll highlight some stuff that you can cash those coins on. Those visual cosmetics for your armor and weapons. There's even one additional puzzle that you can add in a particular location. So if anything else, it's worth checking out for the additional puzzle that you can add in the game. And there's also some additional facial features that were not included in the original design, like my facial hair. So, so there is that. So the options menu, when you're in the game, pretty much everything in the game is the same, with the exception of the gameplay menu. In the gameplay menu, the very first option you see is difficulty, and it highlights the different modes. You have 5, which are story, easy, normal, hard, and nightmare. At any point during the game, you can change these. All you have to do is click on it, exit out of the options menu. It will give you an option. It will give you a message saying it will be need to be reloaded, almost like you're reloading a saved game, and it will change right there. Really handy if you're having trouble getting by a particular boss, but you want to continue playing the current mode that you're on. Very easy to change that to an easier setting and then quickly change it back. Down here on the bottom you have helpers. The very first one is a puzzle feedback, which you can turn on or off, which provide visual and audio cues for when you've completed a particular puzzle. I myself leave these on because it's always nice to you always hear a visual, like a ding and a light on the screen, which tells you that the puzzle is completed. Next one is the Constellation Myth Challenge, where you try to find the blue balls. You can choose to have a compass, or it will even add little blue round icons depicting where the blue balls for that particular puzzle are located. Next one down is the Fresco Myth Challenge, which will help you with if you're having trouble putting a particular one together, it'll help you solve it. Next one is the Odysseus Myth Challenge. You can turn this on or off. Basically, braziers that you hit with the arrow will stay lit as long as you stay on the stone that you are shooting from. As soon as you get off that stone, all of them will disappear and you'll have to start all over again. But if you turn this on, all of them will stay lit that you hit as long as you stay on the stone itself. Next one, puzzle captions. If you're having trouble with a particular one, it'll provide like text and visual cues for getting past that particular puzzle. So I think this is really cool, and I'm not sure why it needs to be something that's on the options menu on the title screen too, so people know about this, because if people play the way I do, they kind of tweak their options menu when they first start up a game, and then they rarely look at it again. So I thought this was something that was worth covering really quickly. And that is it. So hopefully this helped somebody, and hope you like what you see with Immortals, and I'll see you next time.